Wonder Woman hits another milestone. Flashpoint information, hopefully, and is Shazam trolling fans? Right now.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's DC Movie News.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 4 greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe.
Yeah! What up, everybody? It's DC Movie News on the Popcorn Talk. Right now, full squad in here.
Bitches!
And to answer your question, yes, it's 93 degrees. It's going to get sweaty. It's going to get amazing. Roxy just had garlic. The show's going to be on fire.
How'd you know, Johnny? How'd you know?
You pronounced to everyone in the room, hey, guys, I just had garlic. And so here we are.
It was like enough cloves that I had to say something.
Was there a vampire running after you?
No, I just really like garlic. I try to only eat it late at night.
What was the kind of cuisine that it was in?
Do you really want me to break it down for you?
No, I just want to know, like, just ballparks, like, where
garlic on a cracker?
No, it's this, like, garlicky shrimp mixture I've been making and putting it over brown rice pasta with this tomato spicy garlic goodness sauce.
Wow.
I'm now only upset that you didn't bring us any.
Yeah, I will next time if you want. It's really good.
Can you bring us some garlic pasta next time, and that way everybody is garlicky, and that's the way to do it?
and then you don't notice.
From stick and
So
roast
you
to
just
crowning
fork
jewel.
it?
Yeah.
You fork it? Is that what you eat it with?
Oh, you fork it, baby.
Okay.
You fork it.
Just checking.
I like chopsticks.
Totally on board. All right, let's get to the let's get to the intros. At DC Movies SK on Twitter, Facebook.com/DC Movies SK. I'm Jonny Loquasto at JQuasto. The lady over there, Mike Kalinowski, by the way, on assignment, fighting crime. Follow him at Mike Kalinowski immediately, as most of you already do. But this lovely lady right here is a cosplayer aficionado. She's a panel hoster. She's all over the interwebs in a good way. Find her at Elena Jordan. She's Elena Jordan.
Yeah, I'm Elena Jordan. You can find me on Twitter at Elena Jordan.
That's right.
We just established she doesn't download porn, okay?
Yeah.
So it's only in a good way.
Before on the air.
Exactly.
But then why is her memory so low?
Because I download
There's
a
a
lot
lot-
of games. I'm an online gamer. That's my porn.
Yeah.
And it's just as embarrassing because I pull up RuneScape and I'm like, exit, exit, quick. No one look, no one look.
Well, a guy that you can download plenty on the internet. He is the host of Man vs. Child on FYI and FX Movie Download on FX and a verse flocker for Doghouse Restaurants. He's Adam Gertler.
Hey, everyone. Happy to be here. Excited to talk about DC movies. I smoked a goat on Monday.
Explain, please.
It was great. No, we got a great
You
goat.
smoked a
that
goat?
was local, and yeah, we smoked it. My buddy Shane, who's here, he's in town. He's a
Like
chef
you
from
smoke
New York.
salmon, you smoke goat?
Yes, smoked this goat, put it in my smoker, and then we had goat tacos. We went to a tortilla factory and got some amazing tacos, and Shane made some great sauces and salsas. We had taco night, and we've been feasting on
it
goat
Tuesday?
for days. It was Monday. It was Monday
Taco
night.
Monday?
Did the goat die of natural
Yeah.
causes?
No, I mean, it was naturally slaughtered.
You can't, you can't eat something that died of natural causes.
That would be gross.
Oh.
But anyway,
You can't eat something that you find dead.
so it's been a goaty week for me.
Don't tell me what to do.
If you want to live. Only if you want to live. Otherwise, I won't tell you what to do.
That works. And, of course, the
some
crown
garlic on
jewel of the DC Movie News Show is sitting next to me. She's the host of TV Fights on Screen Junkies, now seen worldwide behind no paywall, y'all.
No paywall, bitches!
That's right. How's it been going, by the way?
Really good.
She's Roxy
Are you
Striar.
going to come in soon?
When? Yes. How?
I don't know.
I don't know who to ask.
You mean of my 7 producers I've had?
Yeah. I don't know how to get back on there, for crying out loud.
She's Roxy Striar. She's Roxy Striar.
And she's about to go on a plane, can you tell?
Roxy. In the Striar.
She's dressed like
Right, a self-proclaimed theme song. You've got your own Roxy Striar theme song, mostly consisting of just your name that you sing yourself.
The word "she" was also in there. I was
Yeah,
just, like,
and it's in
clear.
third person.
She's dressed
Last
like
name is Striar. Fire, desire, admire.
Yeah,
You've
but
got
also
so
you go
many
down the
options.
liar route.
Yeah.
I'm
And
no
you're-
liar. Roxy Striar. She's
Okay,
on
well,
fire.
well, she's going to keep working on her theme song. Oh, I just opened the page and I'm seeing you dance to it
And
right
you're
now. That
dressed
looks
like
great.
Laura Croft's assistant today, which is pretty cool.
And sweaty, yeah.
This is fantastic.
Why am I her assistant? Why can't I just be her?
Well, no, you could be Laura Croft, but you didn't. Okay, yeah, you're Laura Croft.
Thank you.
Anyways, before I get to the news, guys, real quick, we're going to have DC Movie News Theater coming up on the episode, so get ready for that. It's going to be pretty incredible. And secondly, my
We got our
comedy,
degrees in that for a reason, bitches.
Yeah. And secondly, my comedy album made the top 10 on Billboard. Thank you, guys. So
Number
a lot of
8,
you-
y'all.
Yeah, a lot of you who bought this, it's a miracle. I independently released it, no record label, no industry help, and somehow I managed to be number 8 on Billboard, so thank you.
Oh, I haven't even seen this
That's
back
just
picture.
the fans.
The
It's
back
crazy.
picture's cool,
So-
too.
I love that.
Thank you for all the feedback. If you haven't gotten it yet, go to quastoalbum.com. Anyways,
That's
news
amazing,
time.
dude.
That was a milestone for me, but an even bigger
Ooh, what's
milestone.
Space Jam 2?
That's a joke about Space Jam, too.
Everybody get up.
You
It's time
gotta
to
plan
dance now. You got a real damn going now. Welcome to the...
Space Jam.
All right.
I just wanted you to finish it.
Here's your chance. Do your dance. It's the Space Jam, all right?
All right.
This is
All
one I
right.
would lose a little bit of points on the Schmoedown for.
got it.
I would not do well with Space Jam
Yeah,
questions.
you don't strike me as a Space Jam guy.
I mean, I've seen it, but probably once 25 years
Just
ago.
put your hands in the
Sure.
air if you feel right.
Yeah.
So, Wonder Woman hit another milestone. She has crossed $400 million domestically, and she has now become the 3rd highest grossing WB movie ever, only behind The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. Cue applause.
Yeah. Not just cue applause,
I can't believe
cue
that.
the
That's-
dancing.
So more than any Harry Potter film? Domestically?
What were the... It was Dark Knight, Dark
I
Knight
don't know.
Rises, and then everything
Top
else. Yeah,
3
so...
Warner Brothers. Not just Warner Brothers DC, Warner Brothers domestic. That's crazy. So many records this film keeps making it, and it's like, what a juggernaut.
I think that it is a better film than the Harry Potter movies, so it doesn't surprise me in that sense, but it does surprise me in the sense that, like, it's Harry frickin' Potter.
I love Harry Potter too, though.
Yeah, I just know that those movies did so well. And
Yeah.
at
People,
least
like,
one of them
waited
grossed
around the
like $1 billion,
corner. Yeah.
or, you know.
So when do we get the Wonder Woman land at Universal Studios? That's what
Yeah.
I want to know.
That's a great
It would
point.
be a Six
It would be at
Flags.
Six Flags.
Yeah, exactly. They've had a long partnership. There have been many Batman rides, and there's a Justice League ride at
Yeah, the new Justice League ride.
I kind of feel like they have to, because now that we've got Guardians going on at Disney, we got to
Yeah.
do something to compete over at
think so.
Universal.
Can we go to Magic Mountain together?
I love
Yeah.
Magic Mountain.
Yes.
I like that
Nice.
X3 one that you get sick and vomit
Yes.
on.
I've never been. I've
And
never
then
been
it
to Magic
flips
Mountain, so.
just your vomit on top of you over and over.
There
Yeah.
are so many coasters at Magic Mountain. I felt concussed last time I went. It was awesome.
Nice.
What if they made like a Themyscira land and they have a bunch of like Amazons
Like
just
you go to
dressed
Paradise
up?
Island.
Yeah, just
would be
dressed
awesome.
up and
I
like
can tell you,
interactive and everything.
I
Just
would
get
never
your ass
leave.
beat.
I would not leave.
Yeah, Themyscira would be like the place you would want to just like set up shop.
I feel
mean,
like
you would want
it's
to
too
spend
good for an
afternoon
amusement
there.
park. I feel like you need to,
Yeah.
like, it actually needs to be like a land you can go and resort
Yeah.
and be. And
That'll
like-
happen.
should be a
I
water
don't think
park.
crazier things than that have happened.
Yeah.
It's not hot in here, guys. We're just making an effect. This is
But
a
why does
computer
everybody
effect.
keep saying Roxy's sweating so much? Everybody's fucking sweating. Sorry.
They were saying... Someone said you were
Whatever.
hot as F. I don't think it's the same.
No,
Yeah.
I said it's hot as ass.
So what do you
No.
girls think? What are your feelings on this
On
Wonder
the-
Woman, this milestone?
Yeah, damn right.
Did you see Gal's dance?
Yes, her dance was amazing. It's actually what inspired me to open up with my own dance.
Yeah.
You did kind of do a
How
little
cute
gal
is
dance.
she though? Like
She's
with her
so
little dress, she's
adorable.
just her dress and everything going on. She's the
incredible.
cutest little thing.
Who's her husband?
It's like a jig.
Just the luckiest.
I don't know. Her
He's a
kids
really
are pretty
successful
lucky,
dude too.
I'm
I think,
sure he
I
is.
think
Doesn't
they're
mean he
like
ain't
quite
lucky.
a power
Let's
couple.
see.
Yeah, no, they seem like an awesome couple, but I think he's out of the spotlight pretty much.
Yeah. So The Dark Knight made
does he do?
$534.8 million. Dark Knight Rises $448.1 million. It's also the biggest movie of the summer in the U.S., beating out Guardians 2 as well as Spider-Man: Homecoming, which I mean Spider-Man wasn't hard to beat. And it has made almost $800 million in the next. Actually, it's very possible it might be past $800 million right now because this article was from a couple days ago.
As of this
so-
typing, as of this
All right.
reading,
This is
His name
crazy.
is Yaron. He's a successful Israeli businessman. He and his brother, Guy, previously owned Tel Aviv's Versano Hotel before they sold it to
Yeah.
Russian billionaire Roman something.
So he's poor. Get it?
yeah, I mean, you don't get Gal as your wife by sucking at life. I gotta think.
But you do by sucking face. This is a really cute picture of him
Probably.
kissing.
Oh my god.
He's got
Yeah.
good sideburns, I
Guys,
will say.
Remember a
met at
few
McDonald's.
months back when we were trying to guess on how Wonder Woman would do? I think this has topped all of our guesses.
Yeah, I mean, 800. Yeah, I definitely thought it was going to finish, best case scenario in the 700, somewhere in there. I thought it would make that kind of magic threshold, which some films have gotten in there. I know that's where Deadpool was kind of, but I think we passed Deadpool globally at this point too,
Do you
right?
know
Or
people-
Wonder Woman has.
Do you know people who haven't seen it?
Not too many. Not too many.
Yeah.
I know my folks saw it. I don't think my grandma saw it, but she's like 95.
But what's funny is so many people have seen it, but it's not really dropping off in the box office. So people, even if they go to see it, are just like, I'll go see it again.
A lot of second and third viewings.
Granted, a lot of that is Mike Kalinowski seeing it.
Good point.
Granted.
Good point. I think he's on like 12 or something, no joke.
Maybe. I know someone this past week who saw it for the first time, and she was so excited she texted me to let me know. She's like, I finally saw Wonder Woman. So...
That's cool.
There is that. All right. So, yeah, we can move on from Wonder Woman. But, yeah, it's just way to go. It's really cool.
But watch Gal dance if you can on Instagram.
Do your thing, honey. Ain't no other man.
Mm-hmm. So, Flashpoint, y'all. It looks like the release date they're saying is going to be 2020. We already kind of guessed that, but now it's looking more official. Although someone just tweeted me there was some article that has it released in 2019. I just don't see that happening.
So, when we had the initial slate, was Flash 2018?
I think so. That sounds about right. Yeah. And remember, because for a while, Flash has had 3 directors. It was
Flash and Aquaman in the same year, or was it?
It was fast track for a while. It was up there, and then it was Seth Grahame-Smith, and then the Fumiyama, and and now it's. I'm really excited about what's going on with Flashpoint now, because that's the first sign to me that, like, story-wise, where this universe is going. It's feeling like it's going somewhere. Wherever it started, they're kind of morphing the original trajectory into the new trajectory without abandoning anything, and it's a delicate process, but I feel that's absolutely what's happening.
And here's what I really like about 2020. It gives us enough time to set up our universe. The last thing you want to do is have a Flashpoint before you have an actual universe to like mix up and mess with. If you don't know the characters, what do you care that they're opposite of themselves, or that we have a different Batman or a different Joker? It doesn't matter. So I think that it's important that it takes a couple of years.
Because this was only established like 4 years ago. 2013 was when we established the current
universe,
kind of universe status quo that we're about to flip in 2020. So
I like
that
it.
doesn't give you
Well, I mean, I'm not necessarily of the opinion that the Flashpoint movie is going to make everything different, like undo everything.
I don't think it's going to be.
No.
I don't think it's going to be like a New 52 scenario. Like, I don't think it's going to be the comics where they use the Flashpoint to completely reboot to New 52. I think it's just going to be kind of like a hey. I think it's going to be basically when Barry comes back and fixes everything.
Yeah.
It's a lot less things are going to be messed up and changed than
I think by the end
with the 52.
Yeah, by the end
You
of
know?
Flashpoint, there will be a small amount of differences after
Exactly.
Flashpoint. Just that movie will, I think, stand by itself in a nice kind of
What
way.
do you guys think in the chat roll? What are your opinions on this? A, are you happy about the fact that they're doing a Flashpoint story, and that could mean many things?
I mean, when it comes to release date, look, release dates when they're so silly. They're years ahead. They always change. I mean, we were supposed to get Cyborg and Green Lantern Corps in 2020. That might not happen now. Maybe one gets pushed up. I doubt it will. So it's like
I thought Shazam was 2020 originally.
Maybe you're right. That was too. So it's like release dates are what they are. They're fun to talk about. At the same time, things are going to change. I think Flashpoint is a brilliant idea. I think that's going to throw everything into a complete awesome disaster in the best way possible. Like, just to have, like, there's a couple photos that we have up here. Like, can you imagine, Thomas Wayne kissing the Joker? Like, that kind of thing. On the screen. That's incredible.
And a dark Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Like a dark.
Well, that kind of goes into the next article about the Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Flashpoint potential.
Yeah, well, it seems to be that they're banking on whoever's playing Batman. It seems like Wonder Woman is going to be showing a lot in these future films. And I know a lot of people have been saying like, oh, it's Flashpoint. Pretty much the whole Justice League has got to be in it. Well, don't be surprised if the Batman that's in Justice League, that's in Flashpoint, is Jeffrey Dean Morgan and not necessarily Affleck. And you might see Gal as this alternate dark Wonder Woman, and you might see
Momoa.
I think Jeffrey
as a despot.
I mean, Jeffrey Dean Morgan for sure. I would expect to be in Flashpoint.
Yeah.
He's already tweeted it. I mean, not that that means anything.
I mean, teased it, sure. I mean, yeah, it's pretty exciting. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I think it's gonna be interesting to see these next couple of films and how things start to shake out and what all that is gonna entail. But like, it does seem like you will get to see the Flash Wonder Woman conflict, perhaps.
I agree.
Yeah, it's interesting too because there's another article from Screen Rant this week where it's asking the question, will Wonder Woman and Aquaman fight in Flashpoint?
Which is an odd question for me because it's less that I don't know.
Does that happen in the story?
Well, in the comics, it flips and then King Arthur and Princess Diana end up marrying each other. And so they actually get together, and then them getting together and the two of them kind of starting their empire and bringing Atlantis and the Mascara together, it pissed off a lot of people, and so then they go and they kill her mom.
Right.
And so then that's the whole uprising that starts the war, and then basically Europe gets dicked real hard.
So when they talk about fighting, they're talking about marital issues. We all
that's
know
what
that
when they're
stuff.
like fighting, when they're like, are they gonna fight? And I'm like, that's not what you're asking.
It was from the Flashpoint paradox, yeah, where it just.
I would argue that Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa pairing up would be too much sexy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm. Yeah, but it's
So
like, are they
hot.
gonna fight or are they gonna hook up?
I can't even look at them in the same panel together.
I
I feel
know.
like you need to. It's not safe
You
for
know,
work.
We've often talked on the show about some sensuality, which we've already discussed what we think that is.
I
and
don't know
what
if you can do doggy style underwater.
Oh yeah, sure.
They call it seahorse style.
Elena Jordan, everybody.
Welcome.
That was beautiful. Another cool article here from hiddenremote.com. What possible characters would we see in Flashpoint? Obviously, we already talked about Thomas Wayne, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, perhaps. Just imagine the scene between Batman and the Joker, and of course Martha Wayne, which would be Lauren, you would think. Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg. I mean, the possibilities are all over the place for this. Will they change things from the comics? Will they keep it pretty similar?
We shall see.
If Martha's in
think
it,
it
will
depends.
we hear Martha?
Mr. Spider wants to point out that Wonder Woman kills Mira and not his mom.
Oh, okay.
No, she kills Mira, but the people who are against it come and kill her mom, and then that's Mira catches them together, and then she kills Mira.
So Mira and Aquaman are together before Wonder Woman comes in
then
and
they
wrecks
have an
that
affair.
home.
Well, there's
Ooh.
actually two different storylines. It depends which comic you get, because one of them, the kind of rebels who are against them getting together go and kill her mom, and that's what starts the war. And then later she does kill Mira anyway, but she kills her later on in a different storyline. But then there's another comic that they are actually just having an affair. They're not actually married. Mira catches them. She kills Mira in a moment of passion, and that's what starts the war.
That sounds amazing. I gotta read this story. I think
It's really good.
I
It's
think
kinda
I've
like a
only
Helen of
seen the
Troy
animated film,
scenario.
which is just a snippet of all this, right?
But the animated film doesn't even really dive into it as
That's
much.
what I mean.
So,
yeah, and I feel like that's what my understanding of the story is more from that. And it's like, yeah, some of these elements are familiar, but that sounds awesome. So I'm going to be doing some
And
rating.
it's kind of cool to see the two of them like side by side and the differences, and then ultimately seeing that she kills Mira regardless of which
like sliding doors.
storyline. Yeah.
What's interesting is, the Flash, obviously with the Justice League trailer, is like the comedic relief. Flashpoint sounds like the saddest, most like intense film ever. So it's going to be really strange. Like, any of these possibilities, it sounds to me like it's impossible to throw any comedy into this. That's why it's going to be very interesting. But
No,
of course,
I think we can.
We got some time to figure it out. There's gonna be some
All right, Johnny, what do we got next?
Oh, what do we got next? Oh, just James Wan talking about Aquaman and how basically he said it was a very technically challenging shoot to be on because everything's underwater. I know, Adam, you sent this over.
This was really
really
cool. I saw this
interesting.
today on BatmanNews.com, and James Wan was describing the current shoot as being like really difficult, not troubled, but
Yeah, but okay.
but so technical that he said, like, if we're shooting a scene where two people are sitting and they're talking, and it happens to be in an underwater kingdom, it's like a full-on, big stunt day. You know what I mean? Because they have to take into account how the hair is going to flow with the CG.
Yeah, it says
and how
it's a
gonna
very
look.
technically challenging shoot to be on, working with water, and even the dry for wet sequences are very complex. Our equivalent of two people sitting around and chatting in the underwater world is super complicated. You have to think about CG and the hair and how their clothes move, how they're floating, what kind of rig we put them on, all that stuff.
And also because of the fact that they want to use the actors as much as possible. That includes that they're doing a lot of shooting underwater and they're shooting a lot of dry for wet, which means that
Yeah,
that's the
that's
stuff
what
where certain things are going to be green screened. And, it seems like he's really putting everything into making this, a real technical achievement. I mean, it smells like a freaking James Cameron movie from the 90s kind
It
of
does,
situation.
but let me ask you a question, and Mike would yell at me if he was here, and I'm sure you guys will yell at me in the chat. I'm
could yell
not
at
trying
you.
to start things. I'm not trying to stir it up, but potentially, is this James Wan starting to explain why it's so complicated because he's a little worried?
No, because at the end of the comment, did you see the end of the comment? Check out the
Yeah.
article. It ends on quite a positive
Yeah,
note.
he says that makes it very difficult and time-sucking and time-challenging, so it's not an easy shoot, but hopefully it will pay off in spades down the line.
And don't
Yeah.
forget, if anyone can handle it, it's the dude who did Furious 7, which isn't exactly a movie that's lacking in special effects and crazy shit.
Hopefully it will pay off in spades.
So this sounds like the kind of thing where, you know, it's kind of like what they did with like Iron Man, where you think like that first Iron Man, I still think there's parts of the first Iron Man that look the best technically, because they started to make things a lot easier on everybody with a lot more CGI as the films progressed. And it sounds like this is going to look amazing, and I wonder if James Wan is going to really want to jump onto an Aquaman 2, or if it's the kind of thing where like they'll catch up to it, or it won't look quite as good because they figure out a way to do it sort of easier, you know, and save some money. But I feel like this is going to look amazing.
I think so too. I'm excited for it to be in his hands. I just think it's interesting anytime anybody announces how challenging something is.
See, I think that that's almost him being like, all right, so because also everything in the DCEU right now has been taking a little bit longer, is if he's saying, you know, there's a reason for it. This is a technically challenging shoot, but I'm with you, Adam. I think that that's basically him also kind of setting up to be like, this is very, very difficult. Maybe in the future we won't make it so difficult. That's an option to make this easier for me because I'm pulling out my hair.
And
Probably
also
telling you to appreciate it.
And his budget, who knows if he's like, guys, if it's taking long and it's challenging, that means it's taking the upper end of its budget, potentially going over.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know. Chat roll, tell me right now, what is the budget for Aquaman? I bet it's close to $200 million, but I'd really like to know that if anyone can find that.
But Fast 7 made $1 billion in 17 days, so
and
I'm
I think
not
Aquaman could potentially make it.
I think it's, yeah.
I think Aquaman could do Wonder Woman numbers.
I think it's possible with the hype that they've been putting in.
Let's see how,
so.
You know, let's see how Justice League
It says
does.
160 million is the budget.
160?
Yeah, that's what it
Is that
says.
remarketing?
So Juan is
That's,
like...
that's a wiki article, so.
Okay. I think Juan might be like...
Heroic Hollywood also
175.
160.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people are confirming 160 million. So it sounds like it's a really technical movie. And this, you know, it's really interesting. I mentioned James Cameron, but you know, that's a big part of the new Avatar movies is going to be the underwater worlds that he's going to put you in. So it's going to be like, well, it's a good thing that James Wan is going to beat Cameron to the punch, because like Cameron, what if Cameron comes around and is like, oh yes, I've created 3D that you don't need glasses for, and kind of changes the game and screws
You
everybody.
are actually underwater watching this movie. We're projecting
The
it.
back of your eyelids are swimming. So Nightwing...
Aren't they always, though?
Well, mine are. So Nightwing... So Chris McKay basically said the reason why there's no Nightwing announcement at Comic-Con is there's just nothing to share yet. He said, I've turned down films because they were backed into a release date that made it difficult to make a great film. This isn't going to be like that. I want this movie to blow you away. We need time to get it right.
I'm glad he said that.
That sounds good to me. Yo.
That's all I need. Cool.
We also have no idea where Nightwing or Dick Grayson or anything falls in the context of our movie world and how this movie is going to be built. So there's not much that he can say. And that's clearly the tack that they're taking. But, like, we clearly need to be introduced into a new Batman universe, or at least expanded the current one, before we're going to meet Batgirl and Dick Grayson, right? So when does that happen is my question.
I don't know.
So we still don't even know, is like, does a Batgirl or a Nightwing happen before a Batman solo film? None really have dates right now, and all are kind of in production.
Well, Shazam will be in production even before that. So
Yeah, Shazam is going to happen before that, and that's actually exciting. Are we talking about some Shazam now?
we're about to get into it. David Sandberg said he's excited to introduce the character to a lot of people who might not know, because he's like, look, I didn't grow up loving Shazam. Here's this quote. To be honest, it was not a superhero I grew up with either. When I grew up in Sweden, there wasn't a lot of Shazam around. So someone who learned to love it later in life, I can relate to the people who are new to Shazam. I think it might be a good thing that I'm doing it because I know what you need to learn. And I think that's fantastic because, look, I guarantee you, $800 million, a lot of people who saw Wonder Woman don't necessarily know her backstory, but that movie showed it perfectly.
But they know Wonder Woman way more, and I think that it's what's so great about this is you cannot treat Shazam like he's Superman.
No.
Because it's a very different situation in terms of what the public's knowledge is. Some people, when they hear Shazam's going to be a movie, probably don't even know it's a superhero movie.
Maybe.
Probably, like, people
They're
don't even know what
thinking
Shazam is.
Sinbad is finally going to be a genie,
100%.
and that...
You mean Shaq?
No.
First
Shaq
of all,
was
you're talking about
There's
Kazam.
a,
Oh, that's
Kazam,
Kazam.
but there is the
No.
whole thing that this whole thing that a bunch of people on Reddit and on the internet all remember a movie from the 90s that Sinbad starred as a genie called Shazam that never existed. But everyone is like, oh, I remember the detail, and I remember this. Yeah. And all these people are saying the details of this movie that never existed. So that's when people are saying we had our own Flashpoint and we lost Shazam. That was the big difference in our world.
Well, if Shaq makes it, that's kind of cameo. But no, I love this because this Shazam film, obviously, it's going to have to...
Berenstein Bears.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing. Berenstain Bears.
I'm Berenstein. I hate everybody else.
I grew up with Berenstein Bears, and it's now the Berenstain Bears. It was always the Berenstain Bears.
Berenstein.
I had no idea.
They're lying to us.
Exactly. Same thing. Flashpoint.
Steen. Yeah. I'm a Jew.
I'm a Gentile.
I'm allowed to pick.
But it's A. It's spelled with an A, not an E. And I always grew up with it with an E.
You're trying to take away my childhood.
It's wrong.
Flashpoint.
All right, Johnny.
Yeah, I'm a Gentile, but I say Berenstein. So yeah, I love the fact that this is going to be somewhat of an origin story because I think it has to be. I think it has to explain what Shazam is, who Shazam is, how he becomes, the whole deal. So David Sandberg.
The Mandela effect. Sorry, that was driving me crazy that I couldn't remember what it was called. The Mandela effect.
It's called the Mandela effect.
The Mandela effect is what it's called. When a whole group of people collectively all remember an event that did not take place.
Yeah.
It's kind of like The Leftovers.
And one thing's for sure, Adam, we're not going to hear the phrase, the words Captain Marvel in Shazam. That's pretty much a guarantee.
I don't know that that's true because from what I heard, a page of the script leaked out and was actually alluded to.
It's incredible writing, too.
Yeah, so the script has actually come along fine, and I know they've
They're doing such a great job with it.
They're doing a good job with it. So actually, a page leaked on Twitter. So we thought it would be a good idea here at DC Movie News to present to you our first episode of DC Movie News Theater.
But first...
Today, DC Movie News Theater is brought to you by Blue Apron. Blue Apron is the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country. Guys, we've talked to you about Blue Apron before. You know how great it is. Let me tell you, from someone who cooks for a living, why it's so important how they source their food. They've established a partnership with 150 local farms, fisheries, and ranchers. The seafood is sourced sustainably under standards, which is not easy to say. Developed in partnership with the Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch. The beef, chicken, pork come from responsibly raised animals, and the produce is sourced from farms that practice regenerative farming. That means that the farms themselves are like Wolverine and they can regenerate.
Yes, that's exactly what it means.
Those who spend a lot of restaurants, I mean, these meals are basically $10 a person. Basil pesto chicken with summer vegetable panzanella. That's a bread salad. Whole grain pasta and summer vegetables with heirloom tomato caprese salad.
Damn. Yummy.
These are just some upcoming dishes that are going to go. We're still in summer right here, and these are great. I love this next one. It's a miso butter salmon and lo mein noodles.
Miso hungry.
Yeah, with cucumber and charmed tomatoes, and there's also a meatball pizza with. As a kid from Long Island, I love meatball pizza.
I've never even heard of that. That's amazing.
That sounds incredible.
So check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/movie news. You'll love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron, so don't wait. And now we present to you DC Movie News Theater.
Music, please.
Exterior, town square, day. A blue and red blur zooms past in the sky.
Holy moly! What's that?
The blue and red blur zooms down and lands with a kapow on the ground. It's Superman!
Oh, it's this bitch. Hold my beer, Tony.
Billy hands his beer to the dapper tiger standing next to him. Meow.
Shazam!
A deafening thunder as lightning hits Billy and turns...
What the hell is happening? You know, we're starting this over right now. Start it over. Start it over from the top. We need to do this from the top. Start it over.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Exterior town square, day. A blue and red blur zooms past in the sky.
Holy moly, what's that?
The blue and red blur zooms down and lands with a krakow on the ground. It's Superman.
Oh, it's this bitch. Hold my beer, Tony.
Billy hands his beer to the dapper tiger standing next to him. Meow.
Shazam!
A deafening thunder as lightning hits and turns him into the world's mightiest mortal Shazam.
Back for another whooping, huh?
Uh-oh.
Superman quickly puts a pair of glasses on like a bitch.
Hey, where'd he go? Excuse me, Mr. Kent. Did you see where Superman went?
Sorry. No, wait, does your suit have a hood on it?
I don't know. Does it?
Shazam turns around so Superman can have a closer look. Superman kicks Shazam in the back like a coward. And scene.
And that was DC Movie News Theater.
Brought to you by Blue Apron, a better way to cook.
I love our take 2 on that one.
We needed a take 2.
Yeah, good call, Johnny.
We needed a clean cut for the interwebs. We need to give the people what they wanted.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I think that when I grow up, I could be like Adam.
Oh boy, what happened?
Don't you think so, Adam?
Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah, you would
I could
probably
be
grow
you.
into me.
I think so.
Yeah, in like 15, 16 years, you'll probably look like me.
So that was David Sandberg having some
I
fun
like the scruff.
with the fans. Yeah.
No, it was real, Johnny.
Oh,
It's
pretty
real,
sure it was real.
It's real leak. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
That's really what we will see in the pages.
great.
Yeah. I just can't believe that they let it leak. That's wild.
I wonder where in the script that is. Is it like the climax?
I would say the last page.
That is the last page.
Probably the end of it,
I'm
yeah.
going to say that it has to be the last page.
God, I hope that's the last page.
Might
The last
even be
line of the
post-credit.
last
You know,
page.
yeah. I think they actually just spoiled the
Like
last
a
line.
bitch.
Like a bitch.
Okay, so what else? We got some other...
Well, we got a new Superman image. I guess kind of from Justice League. It's from a calendar, but there's some cool images that came
Yeah,
out
so
in the
this is a
calendar.
Justice League calendar?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got new images of all the heroes, including Superman. Take a look at this calendar. I think we have some of the images. The Superman image is good. It looks like Superman, but I gotta say, guys, I think this is the worst calendar I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, look at the calendar.
I kind of feel you on that one. First of all, do you think they just got lucky that there's 6 people to put in the 12 things? Because, like, who would they have done twice? Second of all, I don't like seeing them as much solo as I like seeing them together.
Wait, is that real? Look at the backgrounds. It's all the same background.
Right.
It is basically like that music video that the Spice Girls did, like in the desert with just that one wall. It's basically they just took that wall.
When two become one?
Now, the other thing I thought is like...
Need some loving like I never needed love before. Gonna make love to you, baby. I had a little love. Now I'm back for more.
Gonna make love to you, baby. Go ahead,
Set
Adam.
your
away.
spirits free.
Yeah, no, I got that.
I'm just waiting.
If you get a Spice World question in the Schmoedown, what are you going to do?
I'm losing that one too. I'm leaning on my partner, Mike Kalinowski. I don't know. Is this just the kind of thing
Yeah,
because they
Mike
got to
knows
make
the
a
Spice
calendar and the
Girls.
movie's not released, so they don't want to put backgrounds out? But like, what the serious fuck?
And again, I don't love seeing them solo and everyone. Like,
Yeah, and
put a
if
couple
they're-
of them together. Have them doing something. It's cool because I like seeing any pictures of them, but like, nah, dude. They kind of seem like playing cards.
Yeah, it does seem more like playing cards than, yeah, like little collector cards. Like it would be its own little Magic
Yeah,
the
so,
Gathering, but
I mean-
just Justice League.
I get it. Every month you have a hero just in a pose there with you, but it's not like the fun of like an actual movie calendar where those are coming from scenes of a movie. So it's almost like
No.
a Justice League calendar that has nothing to do with the film or something.
It kind of is.
It's
Sure.
almost like a piece of merch that exists in the now before the film's actually released, and it's safe, and we're not giving anything away except Superman's in it. Did you know that?
I mean, if they
Well-
didn't put Superman in the calendar,
That would be weird.
Here's some
Johnny,
of
are
the-
you ready for your second album? Because Hugh Holland says that we should make one together.
Okay.
Because we're so good at the singing.
Actually, it would be my third album, but yeah, let's do it.
Your third album?
Yeah, one day. Let's do it.
Cool.
So a toy designer who's a sculptor released a possible view of what Steppenwolf's gross-ass face looks like. At the same time, it's pretty awesome at the same time. So this is basically the way his sculpture looked. Now, obviously, it doesn't mean it's going to look exactly like him, and who knows, will we ever see everything? We don't know. But at the same time, still pretty cool.
I think if we learned anything from Wonder Woman, it's that even if things are leaked by anybody, like Legos or whatnot, you never know how somebody becomes looking that kind of way, as we got from Ares. So this didn't bother me, and also because this person has no association with the film, to my knowledge, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the big question that people are asking about this picture right now is it just a grayscale mold for the toy, or is this sort of more the color scheme that the character is going to have? And the one thing that I have seen some people debate about is that it would kind of be another monochrome-ish kind of villain, kind of third in a row, look kind of like Doomsday, kind of like Ares a little bit. So
Yeah, but no villains should be in bright colors.
no,
man.
I understand, but it's just there is a similarity. We have a big
Joker,
CGI.
I
kind
think
of
would
thing.
disagree.
That's true.
Riddler?
Trickster,
Yeah.
Riddler, some villains.
And the thing is, if you
that's
think of-
100% true.
if you
But
think of
this
the-
kind of villain,
If you think of like the New God stuff, right, and the Jack Kirby kind of stuff, there's a lot of color and a lot of dynamics going on. It's not about being bright as much as it's about dynamism, I think.
I agree with that.
But I'm not judging now because we don't know what this is. Now, as far as the actual look of the guy, it's a badass looking guy, I guess. I mean,
It is. And
he needs some cream. I think he needs a little lotion.
A little moisturizer?
Yeah, a little ash.
he's
little
got
lotion.
horn chin. He's got like a goatee, but it's bone. It
Oh,
looks like
horn
bone
chin.
protrusion. Yeah.
Oh, that's like what the Jews have on top of their head, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
It's
just
okay. We're allowed
checking.
to say that. We're Jewish.
Yeah,
guys.
totally.
It's okay. It's all right.
I just think he looks like the guy who would scream to get off his lawn.
He does kind of look
He's
like.
very Gran
Get
Torino.
off my lawn.
He's very Gran
If you've
Torino.
ever seen the movie Trick or Treat, he looks like the crotchety old neighbor from Trick or Treat
Yeah.
without.
Fair enough.
He's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's this bitch.
Oh, this bitch wanting candy. So a fan made some incredible fan art, basically turning the Justice League poster into a Seven Samurai
This was
kind of
dope.
mashup.
So
This was
cool.
cooler than the calendar.
So check
This
this out.
should have been the calendar.
It should have been the goddamn calendar.
Yeah, this looked awesome. I will say. They all look so great.
Check it out, check it out. And then lastly, do we want to watch the Batman Two-Face?
Yes, I do, because I think it's really cool.
Then let's do it.
So this is the trailer for Adam West's last performance. Not, beautifully coincidentally, it is as Batman. And William Shatner is playing Two-Face, a character we've never actually got to see on the show. So this trailer has a feeling of even more so of the Super Friends cartoons than the Adam West stuff a little bit, because we're getting a character. It looks a little bit more super fantastical. I think it looks even better than the first one they did.
Check
So let's
it
take a
out.
look. Horn chin.
Is that the kind of porn that Elena watches?
Horn chin. Not porn chin.
Hornchin is a game.
Instigates the extractor protocol.
Hugo Strange.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Behold, my evil extractor.
Burt
music.
Ward sounding his age.
Yes.
You're trying to overwhelm the machine with the eagle. Shut it down. Harvey, look out.
Man.
It's a double cross. All signs pointing to
Two-Face.
I love
I
this.
won't rest until we get to the bottom of this.
He says Two-Face
the game is afoot, Mr. Dent.
he's never said it on the
Get the red
show.
out, or I'll put the blade in. I can't go on like this. I insist you stop this madness.
Shatner.
Boy, we had a deal.
Oh.
Going once, going twice. So, to all the villains of Gotham.
Riddler.
Soon the secret will be exposed for all of Gotham to see.
I love this
It looks
so
like
much.
It looks like no other villains that don't appear on the show appear in this.
Yes.
Except Two-Face.
Two-Face.
Start side up.
Get them, boys.
Damn.
This is awesome.
And with Adam West passing and everything, it just means even more.
Yeah.
It's
Adam,
so-
when is this?
When does it come out? So maybe this is at the end.
In October, it's coming to Blu-ray.
We can get Burt in here for this.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Burt
okay.
Ward.
I-
He told me he wants to come in, so
Really?
yeah, for sure.
I don't want him
But
in
wait,
He's in
here
Vegas
until we
with
can
us,
get
and
the
he was so
air fix.
cool.
How to use that without
Hugo Strange.
Although he lives in a house with 150 dogs, so I'm sure it gets pretty hot.
Right.
That's amazing.
Join them.
Joins them.
So amazing.
Super dope.
I could be Hugo Strange. Joins them.
Yeah, Shatner's doing two totally different voices for Harvey and for the Dark Side. That looks great.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
There you go.
Just another reason to love October.
Well, now it's time for something else.
What kind of time?
It's time for
Roxy Striar's TV time. Sing along with me this rhyme.
Roxy Striar's TV time.
She thinks that the Flash is fine.
DC movie news, it's time to talk.
TV time.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt Volmar, for the beautiful music. Roxy Striar, take it away, because I ain't watched no TV.
You caught up on Preacher, yo?
So am I caught up on Preacher?
Oh, am I caught
We were-
up on
We
Preacher?
were just chatting with the people in the chat roll, they're talking Ruth Negga should be
Ruth
offered
Negga, Ruth
Catwoman.
Negga
Amazing.
is so good.
She's so amazing.
The whole
I
refrigerator
love her.
thing this week, that
So her whole
Yeah.
demeanor, the way she's acting physically,
Everything.
her physical acting is so it's
Spoilers. Maybe not, but maybe.
What, that her physical acting
No,
is
I just didn't know what
that
what
could
we
be
were gonna
spoilers.
say.
Yeah, Preacher.
Spoilers.
Well, I mean, I won't say anything too spoilers.
Okay, no
except
spoilers. No
Cassidy
spoilers.
stuff is great. The Dennis stuff is great. Like, Dennis, this character that I thought it was just so funny to have this non sequitur character, this guy that speaks no English. And then it flipped up on my head, and it's the most emotional thing that
What
has
do you
happened.
think? Yes or no? Should he or shouldn't he?
Oh, I don't think he should.
Will he or won't he?
I think he might.
Yeah.
I think he might. It might come back to bite him in the ass.
Oh, yeah. Literally, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I think it might be. Yeah, it could be his undoing because, like, if Dennis goes off and becomes spoiler, a future vampire or something that starts working with, I don't know. See, they're doing different things with the story, so I don't even feel like I don't know
what's
exactly where it's
going
going to
on.
go.
Yeah.
But I love the introduction of Hair Star.
Hair Star's incredible.
It was so funny. I know some
the
people.
casting. Oh my god. Yes. I'm all about it. Some people in the chat confused on what Preacher is. It's an amazing show.
Who was confused about it?
Superman.
It is a great show.
Superman Ross agrees it's the best. But yeah, but some people
Neo
were asking,
Bryce Largo, Preacher was just wow. Yeah, everybody seems to be digging it. Like they're really killing it.
Yeah, they're killing it. This season is so good, so good. So that's the little Preacher review. Kind of no spoilers, maybe a little
Ruth
bit.
Negga's Rutabaga. Yeah, we all know about. We're all getting behind Ruth Negga's Rutabaga.
Oh, that's Josh McCouga's
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Cool. That's also what Josh McCouga says. Cool.
There you go.
So the Flash
out
guys,
McCouga.
we have new casting. Adam, do you know anything about Hazard? Because they cast Sugarland Beard
I'm looking
as
at her. I
Hazard.
can't tell how old she is. I can't tell if she's a girl. No, she looks like she's a woman.
No, she's a woman. For
She's
sure.
very tiny. She's 4'11".
She's a tiny woman.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful woman.
Stunning.
And I don't know that much about this character, but she's been cast for the 4th season of The Flash. She comes from Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, and she's going to appear in the 3rd episode of the upcoming series. Sharp is described as perpetually down on her luck and is convinced her life is cursed until a freak accident changes everything with the universe on her side. She poses a threat to both Team Flash and Central City.
And it looks like a pretty big break for her. I mean, she's been acting for a long time, a lot of voiceover stuff, but a lot of, co-star, guest star credits, it looks like. Not a lot of regular stuff. So looks like a really big deal for her. Obviously, the Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates probably helped. Captain Underpants, she's a voice in there.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of big casting this
for
season,
her.
though. I mean, we already talked about Danny Trejo joining the team, but we've got some good ones coming up. I'm excited.
I'd be lying if I said I knew anything about the character Hazard. It seems like another deep cut.
First
Flash,
appeared in Infinity
character.
Inc. Number 34 back in 87.
Okay, so not even that old, really. 86 is 87.
I was way off on she looks really young.
Yeah.
The first photo, I thought maybe she was a teenager.
She's a girl.
Not
She's
even
in
close.
her 30s.
Not even close.
Yeah, she looks great. So
Yeah,
good
she
for
does.
her. Good for
Yeah.
her that she can still play high school.
Of course,
I'm
she's
not saying
Canadian.
she is,
all Canadians are awesome.
Yeah, so I'm excited just to keep hearing casting news for The Flash. Speaking of The Flash, we got an interesting article coming from CBR from Danielle Panabaker, who obviously plays Caitlin Snow.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about her character this season and what's going to happen. Here's what I liked about it. She said, here's what I can tell you about Season 4. Those who love Caitlin Snow won't be disappointed. Those who love Killer Frost won't be disappointed. It's about a 6-month jump from the end of Season 3 to the beginning of Season 4. And I'm not at Star Labs. It's kind of a lot of information that she gives us here.
Well, we knew that that it was going to be in real time. So, like the time that we've had off from the show, they're gonna.
Right,
we
but
just haven't seen
we didn't know
it,
she
but-
wasn't at Star
I see
Labs.
they're
We
picking
didn't
up in
know
real
that,
time.
and
So
we didn't know
which
that
is neat.
she is gonna. People are
That she
thinking
could
that she's
be
gonna be
either,
both,
yeah.
either different times. Where'd she go? Is she like on a walkabout? Is she finding herself? I'm excited for this. She's one of my favorite characters, and I'm excited to see her growth.
Canucks fan, what are you talking about Danny Trejo on The Flash? Was Danny Trejo cast as
I
something?
just said that.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I missed that.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
looking
yeah.
up.
Yeah, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Danny Trejo
okay.
was cast on The Flash.
I did not know this.
Yeah. So it's exciting casting stuff going on for The Flash.
He was just, did anybody catch him on Rick and Morty last week?
I missed.
I've met him a couple
Pickle Rick.
times, and he is the
Pickle
coolest
Rick was pretty
dude.
crazy.
Okay, I need to start watching this show because everyone
and Morty?
will not stop. See, in my opinion, the funniest animated show, I have not seen Rick and Morty. To me, the funniest animated show on television is Legends of Chamberlain Heights on Comedy Central. It is the funniest show. There's nothing that makes me laugh out loud. This is a free plug. I mean, I actually read for one of the roles, and unfortunately I didn't get it, but goddamn, this show is brilliant. It's funny. The references are just so goddamn good. Like,
Yeah.
if you have not seen The Legends of Chamberlain Heights, if you don't laugh out loud watching this show, I can't do nothing for you because it is downright funny.
I will check it out, man.
Check it out.
I know Rick and Morty's probably great. I haven't seen it yet. I need to watch it. But for me,
so good.
It don't get no better than Legends.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. As a comedian, I think you'll like it too because it's mostly improv. Rick and Morty,
Which is great.
Moving away from casting for a second, this was just a nice story that I found. Sometimes these actors do incredible things, and I think it's important to talk about them, especially because LGBTQ issues are represented so well in the DC shows, and they really make a point with Berlanti at the helm of that, and Stephen Amell, who took his kid, and I think he was with his wife, to, I think it was a Pride event. I don't know where it was taking place, if it was in Canada or where it was, but I guess he got a lot of backlash. Yeah, it was in Vancouver. I guess he got some backlash for it, and people were saying some rude comments, and he took to Facebook, and he really stood up for the LGBTQ community, which I really appreciated. Yeah. I won't read you the whole thing that he said, but the last line was, "Go be on the wrong side of history," on somebody else's Facebook page, XO, which I thought was really strong, and I was impressed by that.
It's just amazing to me that there's still... And I know there's always going to be hate, and we're never going to get rid of it. But it's incredible to me, the people that do spread hate in 2017, just look yourself in the mirror. You're a human. Guess what? They're all humans, too.
I just think it's interesting, too, because I do find people who are comic book fans to be very open-minded. And there's such a different kind of representation in comic books. And if you're a fan of Stephen Amell, I would say most of his fans do come from Arrow. So who are these people? And if not from Arrow, from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So... who are these people that are commenting on his picture? Like, go away.
I think, I think it's a very complicated issue because people grow up a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. Like he's saying, don't be on the wrong side of history. There's a certain, and it happens constantly in history. There's a time when something is acceptable. Yeah. And then there's a time where it's no longer acceptable. It doesn't mean that the people that were living that way were all evil. But you have to welcome people with open arms. And I would encourage, so when you're trying to get people to be more understanding, be patient with their ignorance. Don't even think of it as hate. A lot of it is just ignorance. And so people don't like to be attacked. So just be welcoming and be firm, but just understand that people are brought up a certain way, and not everybody is born with the strength and the courage to be brave enough to be different than they're taught.
And I actually meant that I have a bit on my album about acceptance, and one of the things I say is, like, I've never met a prejudiced person who's also happy in my life. Everyone I've ever met who's prejudiced is a miserable human being. So just knock it off. Simple as that.
Okay, moving on. I can't believe that we have not been able to let this one go, and I totally love it as a diehard fan of this kind of thing. Save Constantine, guys. Save Constantine.
Oh, it's still got life.
It's still got life.
Another year, another Save Constantine.
Another Save Constantine. Constantine may or may not be boarding the Wave Rider for Legends of Tomorrow Season 3. I love how far we're taking this. It is in no way, shape, or form confirmed at all. People are just running with it, thinking that it might work because Clemmer said, "This is a much more supernatural, spooky vibe this season.
Awesome.
We're dealing more with magic. It's less real-world bad guys." And everybody's like, "We're dealing more with magic. It's Constantine. It's Constantine." It might be, but it also might not be.
So, okay.
Like Zatanna just shows up and we're like, what?
Yeah. I mean, they can really get away. That's what's so great to me about Legends is that you don't have to commit to this one being the one canonical version of this thing in the CW verse necessarily. Like, they're going interdimensionally and throughout time.
Right.
So you can, like, have fun. Like, let Superman show up in an episode, Get the Tyler Hoechlin over there for one shot.
Yeah, sure.
Like, you're doing it. It's out there. But I think Constantine would be, it would make a lot of sense. And it seems like the best you're going to get is that guy for 1 or 2 episodes at a shot. And they're keeping that alive. And he's still doing it on the CW Seed, right? I think they're still producing those things. So
Yeah, for the Vixen ones.
I think so. I think that's still happening.
Okay, moving on. More casting news. So this is kind of confusing to some people because remember earlier on we heard that Maggie Sawyer's character was no longer going to be a regular. She was not going to be on the show that consistently. But now her dad on the show is getting cast, which is interesting. I wonder how they're going to play this in. I know him as Tony Almeida, but the actor's actual name is Carlos Bernard. He was amazing in 24, and I guess he's being cast as her very conservative father. So we'll see how that plays in. That will be interesting. This is what Berlanti said. Any character people love is not there as much as people want them there, but from my perspective, we will use her as much as we can. Talking about Maggie. She's wonderful on the show, and she's got some real ardent fans, as she should. We wanted more of her, but she's got other things in the hopper, other things she wants to consider.
I like the word hopper.
Oh,
so she's not a season regular. She's just like recurring on that show.
But they're casting her father, so there's obviously a storyline there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So that would be interesting. Somebody in the chat earlier said something that I'm unaware of. I don't know exactly what's going on, but if you want to rewrite it for TV time, I guess. Oh, it's Matthew Leach said, did Roxy talk about the backlash some of the Supergirl cast members got for their interview at Comic-Con that kind of mocked the Supergirl fans? I didn't hear anything about that backlash. Did you guys hear anything about that?
No, I did not.
Okay, well, I didn't hear that, but anyway, that's what I got. That's TV time for this week,
And that makes it the show for the week. We
actually,
hope you enjoyed.
Yes. I was just pulling up what they said. There was apparently some LGBTQ people who were upset at how the Supergirl panel was being run because they felt like it was digs at them, but I don't think it was intended that way.
No,
okay.
I don't think
Interesting.
So. But that's the show, guys. We're at DC Movies SK on Twitter, Facebook.com/DC Movies SK. Keep spreading the word, guys. We still have a goal to get on some panels. Our next goal, LA Comic-Con. I think we have our buddy Moda Roland, who's actually working on that for us. He may have a contact of getting us on there. The big goal, Comic-Con next year, but hey, one thing at a time. So if you know anyone, spread the good word, because we think between us and Marvel Movie News, why not? Let's make it happen. Elena Jordan, go ahead.
Hey, you guys can find me on Twitter at Elena Jordan and on Instagram at That Elena Jordan Girl. You can also check me out on RelativityPodcast.com, which is a sci-fi radio drama.
Awesome, because people have seen your work today on DC Movie News Theater, so...
Yes.
That's true. Very true.
It's better on Relativity. I don't drop my phone, but, it's all right.
Is that what
My phone went to black.
I didn't know what happened. I was like, what happened?
I was reading it, and the screen went to all white, so there was nothing on it.
That's okay. We did it right. It'll be fine. Gertler?
Hey, I'm Adam Gertler, guys. Come talk to me. I'll come to your house and smoke your goat. Check me out on FX Movie Download. Captain America Winter Soldier episode is airing soon, very soon. I'm not sure which day. And I'll talk to you next time.
A couple of people in here wanted us to talk about the action figures reaction. We forgot to talk about it last week, and it just seemed too long ago. But yeah, Ezra Miller and Ray Fisher opened their action figures. So if you guys really want us to, we'll talk about that a little more next week. I'm Roxy Striar. You can find me at Roxy Striar or over at Screen Junkies for TV Fights Tuesdays at 4 p.m. We're live on Screen Junkies News' YouTube channel, so you don't gotta pay a dime, yo.
That is right. I found out I'll be doing some shows in Detroit in November, but that's a while down the road. Other than that, guys, it's all about QuastoAlbum.com. Thank you to everyone who has already purchased the album. Getting to Billboard Top 10 would not have been possible without you guys and without your support. If you haven't gotten it yet, I guarantee you there's something for everyone on this album. You're going to love it. QuastoAlbum.com. Spend a few bucks, support me, and I guarantee you'll be glad you did. So thank you guys so much. And thank you to Anthony in the booth on the ones and twos. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We love you. We'll see you next week. Peace, bitches.
Producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Kristian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network. We would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.